Hello and welcome to the Quever channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're having a good day. I'm still recovering from norovirus stuff and that, but it's not as bad as the last bout. I wanted to do a 1-year review of a couple of pieces of hardware. The Minisforum Mercury EM680 mini PC. Ryzen 7 6800U. It had 32 gigs of 6400 megahertz memory. The one with the built-in 680M APU graphics. And the Minisforum Venus UM790 Pro. The Ryzen 9 7940HS. With 32 gigs, although I upgraded it to 64 gigs with the 780M. I have used them in so many ways this year. I bought them, but I bought the EM680 in September of 2023, and I bought the UM790 on the 26th of August, so we're coming close to 10-11 months of use for both of them. Now, there have been multiple situations of use. For a time I used it as my primary PC. This PC I am on at the moment in my kitchen is the UM790 Pro. It has become my primary secondary PC. What do I mean by that? Well, when it's too hot to be upstairs, or when I just feel like being in the kitchen like this and doing a vlog in the thingy, this is the computer. I have got it connected to a Razer Chroma eGPU with a 4060 Ti in it, but that isn't used all of the time. In fact, most of the time it isn't used. It does everything. I can play all of my games. It can take the place completely of my main PC upstairs. It's been completely reliable. This computer has been moved from room to room to room. It was in the living room. It was upstairs. It was in the bedroom. I connected it to the 55-inch TV in the bedroom when I wasn't feeling well and had a computer in there. I plugged in external drives. I've stuck It's got two M2 slots, so you can put in two 4TB M2s in there. At the moment, it doesn't have that. I think it's got a 2TB and a... Let me just check, because I actually swap out the M2s with different systems. So let me just make sure of how much memory is in it at the moment. Okay, so its primary drive is back down to 1TB at the moment, and the secondary drive in there is a 2TB. M2. Very easy to open it up and put new ones in. As soon as I've got a couple of, that's my next upgrade for it. When I've got a couple of 4TB M2s that aren't being used in other things, I will put two in here and it will be an 8TB unit. It has two USB 4 connectors which work very well. I've plugged in Thunderbolt stuff into it. I've connected external drives, both mechanical, NASs and everything to it. This computer in this little kitchen, the UM790, has just been used in so many ways. And it's been rock stable, really. I'm running Windows 11 on it at the moment. And it's reliable. When it comes to reliability, computers have got to be very reliable for me, because they're part of my coping strategies. When I turn a computer on, it has to just turn on and work. I don't mind tweaking stuff, I don't mind messing stuff, but I don't want stuff that I can't rely on. So the UM790 Pro has handled you can play anything from Starfield. It can handle Cyberpunk, modded Skyrim. I've had connecting my VR headsets through it and so on when I've had the eGPU set up and so on. And it just runs pretty much anything that I've thrown at it. I would not be in a bad position if every other computer in my house broke down right now and I only had this one. Of course, I'd freak out because I wouldn't have a backup. But in the worst case scenario, this computer in the kitchen can do everything I do online. And I've usually got so many things connected through to this Sennheiser microphone and everything. The other one, my EM680 Mini Ryzen 7, slightly less powerful, although you can boost it, and I've just tweaked the BIOS because you can take it from a 65 watt BIOS to a 100 watt BIOS. You have to provide your own power supply if you do that, because the one they give with it is a 65 watt, which is fine, but I like the choice. I've just upgraded it again back to, so I swap it down to the 216 BIOS, which is the 65 watt BIOS on the thingy, which is okay, but it's good for low power computing. But if you want to game, there's the 65 watt, the way that the EM680 works is this, which has only got a certain amount of power for both the CPU and the built-in GPU. So there's situations where if you play games that require more power than it's got available, either the GPU loses out or the CPU loses out in power, and you get stuttering and issues. So it doesn't happen to most people, because most people's use case scenario for the EM680 is just a media PC or things like that, although I've used it for so many things. Once again, that computer in the living room, because it's in the living room at the moment, set up on the big screen. I'll tell you what I'm sort of using it as now. That has been used in every room in the freaking house. It really has. It's been used as a primary PC for gaming and everything else. And even though it isn't as powerful as the UM790 Pro, it's got 32 gigs. It's got bloody and a Ryzen 7 6800U CPU, and it does kick ass. But for what I'm doing at the moment, I've upgraded it to the 100 watt version of the power going to it, and that's because, well, it's going to be a NAS, a media PC, and a gaming PC all in one. It's already pretty much set up in the living room. How have I done that? Well, basically, I've connected it through one of its USB 4 ports to a Thunderbolt dock, which allows me to connect up to 10 hard drives to the system. Yes, 10 hard drives to the system. The plan is to turn it into a completely SSD and flash drive system. At the moment, it's got 20, so it's got 24 and 24. It's got 32. It's got 32 terabytes of storage on it, and that because it's got a 2 terabyte internal, because you can't put the full size M2, so it's the 230s. So it's got a 2 terabyte internal. Then it's got multiple SSDs, little external SSDs connected via the USB 4 system. And it's got one mechanical drive, which is a Lacy business drive, which is a 20 terabyte Lacy business drive. That's just on there at the moment to transfer stuff. Once all the stuff I need transferred to the SSDs is transferred, I'm going to remove the mechanical drive and just slowly populate the USB ports with 4 or 2 terabyte SSDs. Make it a completely silent, low power NAS, as it were. So that's the first plan for it. But when I was setting it up and doing it all in there, I just realised once I had set up Plex and copied all my movies and my TV shows and my music over to it and set it up so it was working, and it was only drawing like 20-30 watts at idle. It was brilliant. doing that. I thought, well, now, if I put a controller on it, I install most of my games, and I've plugged in the 8-bit2 controller to it via its USB connections, then I can probably set it up as a gaming PC, because it's connected to a 4K 65-inch TV in the living room, and it'd be brilliant to game on that. So I've set it up as the multimedia PC as well first, which is, of course, setting up with Disney, Prime Video, Plex. What else have I got there? My Netflix account, it's all set up on there, and I can watch it in 4K 65-inch. It's gorgeous. But then I installed my Steam, and I've started installing probably about 256 games. Yeah, 256. I always like that number. Games are being installed at the moment, and just got to run a few tests because the power supply to running at 100 watts, yes, that's to be some 100 watt chargers can't do it. So I'm just running some tests. But this will mean that it'll be basically a full gaming PC, a NAS, and a multimedia PC all in one in this little tiny thing that's about this big. And the good thing about using the USB 4, which has got 20 gigs down, 20 gigs, it's 40 gigs in total, 20 gig bandwidth per, and it's got 2 USB 4 channels. So I'm using one of them and setting it up like that. Over time, I can basically plug in these 4 or 2 terabytes whenever Amazon Prime has a sale on and has them like half price or 40% off. Buy one of the external little crucial drives and add it to the system. Good thing is, because I'm not doing it RAID and all that, this is a NAS, this is not a backup. My backup is upstairs. My first level of backup is upstairs in my primary NAS, which isn't turned on or connected at the moment. So that one's actually just a backup, offline backup, 30-40 terabytes. And I have multiple backup drives that are also not connected to anything, and those are inside fireproof bags and EMP resistant bags. So those are the backups. This isn't a backup. This is a live NAS to be used, and everything on there is copied to something offline anyway, so it doesn't matter if that ever goes down. But the good thing about doing it through the USB system is this. If I want another drive connected to it, I just plug another drive in. I don't have to re-parity or anything, or do any unraid setups or anything like that. I just plug it in. Windows recognizes the new drive. I just designate it as a shared folder for the house, and bingo, I've got another 4 terabytes to throw stuff on. And when it's full, I just unplug it and it goes into storage. Simple and easy. So that's the plan at the moment. Just while I'm knackered, I'm not feeling good at all, but my brain's active and I've got to do stuff because I'll go crazy if I don't. Literally. So I have to, even though I'm really tired, I'm not doing any physical exertion, but I'm doing lots of little tweaks and things. So that is what my opinion of the Minisforum stuff is this. Don't early adopt it. When they first come out, Minisforum is awesome. They do bloody brilliant stuff they do with it. But when they first bring them out, they're sort of a bit janky. They usually require a few BIOS updates, and they usually require a few software driver updates. But once that happens, say 2-3 months into the life cycle, they're as stable as any computer I've ever had. And seeing as I've moved them around the house and done everything with them, they're pretty durable, because I've taken them apart so many times and tweaked them. I mean, my Minisforum 780, 790 is actually kind of tweaked at the moment, because I've opened up the case slightly so I could bring out the antenna from inside to outside. Yeah, I did that. So I would definitely recommend these mini PCs from Minisforum. They're very innovative, and I would use them as I do. When I'm downstairs, this is my primary PC, and I do everything that I could do with my big PC upstairs. I mean, if I need more power, I can take out my 4070 Ti from upstairs and plug it into the eGPU, and I've got a bloody thingy. But usually the 4060 Ti is fine, and I like having the extra memory, VRAM, for AI stuff. So this is Jason for the Quibber channel. I have a bit of a ramble this morning, but yeah, I am recovering. And so I'll say bye-bye for now.